Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, August 4th, 2020. Hope everybody's day is off to a wonderful start. We're going to chat a little bit today about a workout that happened a few days ago. That would be Chelsea on August 1st, which was a Saturday. And we're going to talk about the phrase fitness was achieved, and scaling or modifying workouts, and how life goes on. Even if you have to change something, it's all good. See some waves back at everybody. So, yes, okay, so quick recap. August 1st, Saturday, that was Chelsea. If you're unfamiliar with Chelsea, wonderful woman. She's a beast, though. Chelsea is every minute on the minute for 30 minutes, 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats. And you just hold that pace, one round a minute for 30 minutes. So, if you are lucky enough and fit enough to hold that, you'll get in 30 rounds of Cindy. Cindy, for those of you that are familiar with CrossFit, is an AMRAP 20 minutes of that very same rep scheme. And you're going to get in a tremendous amount of volume, and it's all good. And if you're ready for it, fantastic. But there's always that beautiful little phrase we tuck in at the end of workouts which says, scale as needed. And those aren't just empty words. You should scale as needed. So this video is directed towards dealing with real life, allowing yourself, and realizing did you understand the intent of the workout, which is why I'm so big, do these videos, quite. It's why I do these videos on education, because if you understand the intent of the workout, you start to get a baseline knowledge of programming, you understand why we're doing things, then you can tweak them as needed, still get everything that you need out of the workout. But here's the important part. I'm not worried about a lot of people. I know if people scale or modify the workout, they'll get what they need out of it physically. I'm really not worried about that. Almost a larger concern for me is helping people between the ears. Because a lot of people, it's been my experience, I don't know if guilt's the right word, but they carry around some sort of guilt or pressure or expectations or whatever the proper term is, that there's this thing in a human being's mind that says, okay, well, this is the workout is written down this way. I have to do exactly what is written down to the letter of the law, period. No exceptions, no modifications, no nothing. And if I do what's written down, every piece of it, it was a good day, and I get fit. But if I don't do everything that's written down on the piece of paper exactly as it's written, I've somehow failed, and it's just I didn't get fit today, it's a wasted day, and I might as well have just stayed in bed and eaten ice cream. And, trust me, I programmed the workouts. I put a tremendous amount of time, thought, effort, research into everything that is written down every single solitary day so that it flows in this beautiful symphony. So trust me, I appreciate that desire to be like, well, this is written down, this is the good stuff. But also I understand that everyone's life's a little bit different, everyone's schedule's a bit different. Everybody might feel a different degree of soreness from yesterday's deadlifts, for example. Everyone got a different amount of sleep. Everyone's life's a bit different. And that affects everything that happens in the gym. Some people thought they'd have an hour. Now they have 40 minutes. Well, what does that mean? Some people, etc., etc., etc. So anyway, a lot of my commentary also is trying to let people, for lack of a better way to say it, feel authorized to let themselves off the hook if they have to change or modify something, and realize that that's okay. You're perfectly okay. And getting back to that phrase, fitness will be achieved if you just, to the best of your ability, try to replicate something close to what's programmed. If you can't do what's programmed that day, but if you try to replicate something close based upon your ability, your capacity, your skill level, the equipment that you have available, the time you have available, life will be fantastic. So Chelsea that day, Chelsea came up on August 1st, which was a Saturday, and just as life would have it, we had a busy little Saturday planned. It was going to be a busy day. We had stuff going on with the kids. One of the kids, here we got big issues happening. One of the kids broke one of their wheels on their scooter the day before. We had a scooter down. We had to get that scooter fixed. I mean, could you imagine if we didn't? So we rearranged everything so that Saturday was Fix the Scooter Day. And the scooter shop is not close to where I live. I don't have a scooter shop readily available. So we were going to have to do a fair drive to get to the darn scooter shop. And then when we're going to, we drove that far, might as well go to a scooter park somewhere over there, test the new gear out. Then we had dinner with the in-laws that night, which I knew, once we got there, we would stay until it was dark. So the workout wasn't going to happen later. So point being, I had to work out early that morning. My wife had to work out early that morning. And it was get it in then or don't get it in. And, one of us was inside with the kids, while one of us was outside with the garage. And then we had to do one of those flip-flop deals. This is probably resonating with parents all around the world, just juggling real life stuff. And all the other priorities that we had that day did not give a rat's behind about Chelsea needing 30 minutes to be executed and potentially 10 to 15 minutes to warm up for and 5 to 10 minutes to cool down and stretch for, and then somehow allowing my wife to have that amount of time and come out into the garage. Simply was not going to happen. So, and quite frankly, I didn't sleep great the night before, so I was perfectly fine in modifying the workout. So what worked for me for real life that day was I said, okay, I'm not going to do Chelsea for 30 minutes. And 20-minute AMRAP with Cindy would be great, right? It takes 10 minutes less. You're not going to be shortchanged by doing Cindy. That's for darn sure. But here's the other part that I'll be honest with everybody here, because we're friends, right? We're having an honest conversation. Here's the other part. I just didn't feel that fired up. Just didn't feel like getting after it, really. Felt like moving, felt like getting a sweat on, felt like doing some good functional movement so I ideally can live a high quality life on the planet. But some sort of red line beast, it just wasn't in the cards that day. So I didn't want to go that hard. There I said it. And I also realize, again, with that letting yourself off the hook, which is a big thing I try to communicate to people, I like listening, listening to your body and your mind, in my opinion, is a pretty darn good tactic, because that helps keep you on track for not a week or a month. But I think, I can only speak for me personally, but I allow myself to do that when I feel like I need it. I'm like, I'm not going to go that hard today. I'm going to kind of mail this one in. It's what I feel like I need. I feel that has allowed me to actually stick with CrossFit for over 15 years now, like continuous 15 years of working out, because I don't hold myself to every single day I need to burn it down. Nope, just not feeling it. That's okay. Go out in the garage, move around a bit, come back in, live to fight another day, and then I don't get burned out. And then I actually still enjoy what I walk out into the garage to do, because I'm not always putting some crushing pressure on myself, and then walking out in the garage isn't fun. It sucks, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I said to myself, okay, great. Cindy would be a fantastic workout, but I'm not feeling, it's not a Cindy kind of day. It's a scooter day. It's a take the kids to the scooter park day, casually get a cup of coffee, get in some sort of movement day. So I see JJ there, ego checked, especially, yes sir. So I said, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'd like to get in the volume that I'd get in for 20 rounds of Cindy. I wouldn't feel shortchanged if when I walked out of the gym, even if it was at mediocre intensity, I moved my body through what 20 rounds of Cindy would be. So 20 rounds of Cindy, if you do the math, it's, 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats, times 20. That gets you 100 pull-ups by the end, 200 push-ups, and 300 air squats. Which, if you look at it that way, maybe sounds like, oh, it's a big chunk of work. So I played some mental games with myself. I said, I'm not even going to do the 5, 10, 15 rep scheme. Not even going to do that. I'm not even that fired up. 10 push-ups gets hard. Who's kidding who? I'm going to do 3, 6, 9. 3 pull-ups, 6 push-ups, 9 air squats. And then I just divided that to see how many times would I have to do that to shake out to what would be 20 rounds of Cindy. And it didn't come out exact. It came out real close. 33 rounds of that, okay? So 33 rounds of 3, 6, 9 gives me 99 push-ups. 99 pull-ups, 198 push-ups, and 297 air squats. So I'm within like a couple, 2, 3 reps of each. I was like, that's cool. So I went into the garage and the dry erase board. I wrote I did 11 dots, second row of 11 dots, third row of 11 dots. There's my 33 rounds. I turned on the clock solely to just make sure I didn't care about how long the workout took me. I did it solely to make sure that I didn't stay out in the garage too long and then screw over the fact that my wife needed to get out into the garage and work out as well. And then I just started moving, and I started moving at a pace that was casual, I would say. I was in no rush, and here's also how I scaled and modified it just a little bit. For the first 11 rounds, I did no warm-up whatsoever, so I'm moving slow. For the first 11 rounds, I did ring rows, and not at a crazy angle, by the way. I wasn't trying to be a hero. Very user-friendly angle. So for the first 11 rounds, ring rows. The middle 11 rounds, I did strict pull-ups, just because I enjoy them, quite frankly. And then for the last 11 rounds, kipping chin over bar. So I did some Frankenstein workout that, I may never do again in my life, quite frankly. And so I may never have a score to compare it against. And I don't care. That's okay with me. Because I didn't do that workout on Saturday to have, it's great. Hey, trust me, the most of my workouts that I get the data, I compare, and I know where I am. But every now and then, if I don't get the data, I do a totally, modified workout in some way, and then it just happens so I can move my body. Life's good, and that's what that Saturday was. And I will also, since we're again having this honest conversation amongst friends, I've been very vocal about the fact that, I broke my pelvis many years ago. I got plates and screws holding it together, and, that is my little injury friend that will live with me for my entire life. Spoiler alert, it doesn't get better as you get older. But I continue to move my body to keep my joints strong, keep the range of motion happy. But it takes a while to warm up. It takes me a bit to get below parallel based upon that injury. It just doesn't happen right away. And so I didn't warm up, and so I moved casually and slowly, and I will say that I probably didn't get an air squat below parallel until maybe 6 or 7 rounds into the 33 rounds. First round was nowhere near parallel, I'm here to tell you, even the second round. And then maybe rounds 3 and 4 were kind of close to parallel, but certainly not below. And then as things started to just gently get warmed up, then I was good to go, and we got below parallel. So that's another kind of weird, funky modification kind of deal that it just didn't bother me at all. I did what I needed to do, I moved my body, and life was good. And even at a moderate pace, again, not hitting the gas pedal to the floor, I was huffing and puffing and pouring sweat at the end of knocking out my little scaled version for the day. So again, that brings me back to the saying, fitness was achieved. Fitness was most certainly achieved, even though I didn't do Chelsea, even though I didn't do Cindy, even though I modified it in 15 different ways to fit my life, my needs, my everything that day. Even though it was so drastically different than the workout of the day, it wasn't drastically different than the workout of the day. And that's another one of my points, because, again, if you understand the intent of the workout, you can make it fit your needs, your feelings, your body, your equipment, your whatever. So Cindy's and Chelsea are pull-ups, push-ups, and air squats. Well, in some degree I did pulling, push-ups, and air squats. So I'm right there, totally good to go, all set. And this is how you knew that it was a casual day. This is how I'm a bit more in touch with my priorities in this season of my life compared to when I first get into CrossFit and the whiteboard reigns supreme. And you know, if something interrupted my workout 10 or 15 years ago when I started CrossFit, I would probably have a small meltdown because the time at the end was the most important thing, and anything which interrupted me to be furious. Well, during my version of Chelsea on Saturday, my wife came out into the garage with our trusty hound, our trusty dog, Muggsy, family companion. Love that little guy. And he went out to do his business in the morning, little potty time. And Muggsy is wonderful at many things, making the family feel special. It's a great dog, but he does not like to come when he's called about half the time. That's probably one of Muggsy's downfalls. And so my wife is trying to get the darn dog back into the house so that she can do the 15 things that, she's trying to do. We're trying to get the kids out the door again. Real life, right? We're working out and real life is happening. Kids, dogs, scooter wheels that are broken, dinner with the in-laws later on. We're trying to make all this happen. And so I think I was like 17 rounds into my 33 round little modification workout that I had. And I just stopped where I was and walked out into the yard, and my wife and I chased the dog around for about just 2 minutes while the clock continued to run, while my precious workout got just messed up by real life. And I don't even know if it was 2 minutes. It beats me. I'm not sure how much time went by. But eventually we got our cute little pooch and got him back into the house. I had to clean off his paws, all that kind of stuff. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. And then I just walked back out towards the pull-up bar, looked at the dry erase board, and was like, what round am I on? Oh, okay, gotcha. And I'm like, I don't even remember if I stopped on the pull-ups, the push-ups, or the air squats. I can't remember where I was when the dog interrupted me. Screw it. Who cares? Just start over a fresh round and just keep moving. And then it ended. And with my interruption with the dog, the clock said 22 minutes. So I think I ballpark did what would have added up to 20 rounds of Cindy in about 20 minutes. So again, fantastic. All good. Life's good. Everything's, easy day, right? In the grand scheme of things, easy day. And then I went in, started making the kids breakfast and all that. Emily went out into the garage. She did it modified in some sort of way because time was precious. And then we went out and tackled real life. And everything was good. And I got a feeling that I'm going to be just fine as I look back and reflect on my fitness and realize that I didn't do exactly the prescribed workout that day. But I understood the stimulus. I understood the intent. I preserved the stimulus. I preserved the intent of the workout, even though it looked a bit different. So once again, that's why with these videos, with everything else that we do, I'm very big on ideally trying to pass as much knowledge, information, and maybe even sanity to everybody out there so that my goal is that everyone else can make these decisions with need, when need be, without beating themselves up about the fact of you didn't do exactly what was written on the paper that day. That's okay. Totally okay. You should always feel authorized to make the right decision for you that day. That's kind of it. So that's it. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. I'm going to continue sipping my coffee. And, of course, we'll talk soon.